Doesn't look like the normal crew is headed in, huh?
I think Hardcat says he's gonna be out for a few weeks. No idea on Tom. So might just be us. They
It's okay. All right. I'm ready to go whenever you guys are.
Just say the word.
just gonna taxi down really quick. My head tracking on here. Why does it do that? That's weird. Hmm.
Hello.
All right. You ready to roll, Eaton?
Yeah.
All right.
Copy.
If any of you want to go see one of the greatest, most recent music videos ever released, go look at the OK Go Love official music video. It's insane.
Oh, nice. All right.
YouTube's
Heading
compression
out.
can't possibly do it justice.
All right. Here we go.
Ow!
No,
What?
Whoa.
be careful
Whoa.
of the trees
Yeah,
and the
a
buildings.
bunch of counter torque there. That was weird.
It's interesting. Circuit appears as a V-type bonanza for me,
Yeah.
but Byte 8 is still a Virga.
Interesting.
And we're up. Woo.
Question is, am I going the right way? Let's see.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks to be.
you look like it.
This all looks pretty coastal and flat, except for the very end.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get under the clouds. They enjoy the scenery.
Yeah, I think I'm a hold to about 3,000.
Yeah, I've got, oh, what am I running here? Scattered clouds, and I think the top layer is at 3,000, so I'm gonna be just below that.
Gotcha.
Hit 2,000.
I'm running high clouds. I'm actually gonna drop it back to 25. Let it rest there.
Good day, everyone. I'm flying live weather for now.
Ooh,
Good luck.
yeah, brave.
Then you're a braver man than I am.
Yes, brave.
Well, below 2000, I still have ground visibility.
Okay, we're good. It's pretty good.
The airport is called Mudhole,
Yep. Good old mud hole. They fly 737s in there. I think it's on. I thought it was on one of my milk run legs, if I'm not mistaken.
We stopped in there on our way up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Alaska Airlines has a little hub there. Well, not a hub, but a stop. But
so it's a little like added part of the milk run or something.
yeah. But it could get a decent 737 into the sim. I'd really appreciate it. Anytime now. That would be great. 60 ground speed.
Oh god.
What's up?
Holy shit.
That doesn't sound good.
You're right over
Did we start bombing Iran?
You know, at this point,
That wouldn't be. Yeah, right.
I wouldn't
Exactly.
even be surprised.
No, exactly.
What?
I wouldn't even be surprised.
You know the saying, throwing a dead cat on the table?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, really? Really? Okay.
Never heard that one.
Okay, so basically, and I sometimes deploy these tactics in um, in my employer's vicinity. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, the idea behind it, throwing a dead cat on the table, is whatever the discussion is going on around the table, and whoever's involved, it doesn't matter.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't even matter. It can be something that is very pointed toward one single person, or it could be pointed toward yourself, and it may not be the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
So you throw a dead cat on the table. such as, for instance, the economy is going bankrupt. Well,
Yeah.
if you drop a bomb in Iran, that's a dead cat on the table right there. Ain't nobody talking about anything else but the bomb
Yeah.
in Iran, right?
That makes sense.
Yep. Dead cat on the table.
Makes sense.
The problem is that I don't know what it would take now to be like qualified to be a dead cat on the table. It's like you said, there's almost nothing that would surprise a person. at
Right,
this
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we have reached that point.
point. Yeah.
We have reached that point, for sure. It sounds like what's going on is Carney is organizing this mass bond sell-off. Well, basically this trickle. Sounds like he got together with the EU and other partners and Japan and stuff, and
Yep.
and then he's like, hey, basically use that as leverage to get Donnie to knock his shit off.
Yep.
Ugh.
Donnie.
You're out of your fucking element, Donnie.
I still say Canada should join the EU. Just for
Yeah.
kicks.
Just for kicks.
Why become the 51st state if you can become the 28th state in the European Union? You're much higher on the list. I mean,
My thing is, if I was in the country, just a symbolic question, I guess. If I was in the country when they decided to go into the EU, would I then be like an EU citizen? Could that be
I'm sure
possible?
there would probably be a transition period of some sort. Like it wouldn't be like flipping a light switch. I don't
Yeah,
think.
but
I'm
you
just,
are not an. I'm not an EU citizen either, so we still have the national citizenships. But of course, so it's there's no EU citizenship.
citizenship.
Although there's
Yeah, I got
so
you.
although there's a close cooperation. So if you were a Canadian citizen and Canada decided to join the EU, then you would automatically become basically an EU citizen.
Yeah, I got
Do
But
you.
you,
I was just
So if you're
hoping.
part of the EU, then like do you guys over there require passports when crossing borders between other EU
No.
nations? No. Okay.
no,
Yeah.
no,
That's
I can.
I figured that.
No, but that was. I mean, there's this so-called Schengen Agreement, which basically says that within all the countries that joined this Schengen Agreement, and I think, for example, this also includes the Switzerland, for example, which is not part of the EU. There is you can cross borders without any documents.
Gotcha.
There are exceptions, of course. For example, during the Olympics, France instituted border controls for security reasons.
Makes
Or
sense.
in the pandemic, they wanted to minimize cross-border traffic, so they reinstituted border controls. But generally speaking, these are emergency measures, which also are limited in time. So I can go to France or to the Netherlands or wherever without any. I don't even need an ID card.
Right.
Just hop on the train and go.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
And I do that regularly, in fact, because I travel to Brussels quite often in Belgium. That's 2 hours by train, a little bit more. So usually I have an ID card with me anyway, but I never take a passport because I don't need one.
Right. Yeah, traveling between countries over there is like traveling between states here.
Exactly. It's
Yep.
It's really convenient.
At least for now. Here. We're not quite to the papers, please. Point of the
Wow.
movie.
Yeah.
But I do think I need to now. I need some kind of visa or some kind of electronic visa for the UK now. I have to check because I have to travel to the UK in June. I think I
Yeah, you need one.
Yeah, similar to what you have in the US. So basically, some kind of online stuff.
And it just got more expensive since yesterday.
Oh, thank you very much. Shit. What does it cost?
15 euro, I think. So no, not so bad. Just like in the US.
Same as US. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's valid for what, 18 months or so?
See how that goes.
I think 2 years, if I remember well.
Okay.
There was a
Yeah, the US and Canada was 18 months.
there was a Australian guy that just got deported. He was here on a work visa. He's been living in New York for 7 years, and he had to fly back to Australia to take care of some family stuff. And yeah, we got back to Customs and Border Control, I think in Houston, and they
Go back home.
they said, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, it's fucking great.
So he's like, I've learned, like, he has like 15 months on his work visa still, like, and all that shit, and they're like, nope. Like, they accused him of like being a drug dealer and having
So he still had a valid
multiple
visa.
homes and all this other stuff, and just gave him the runaround. And he said, yeah, there was like, there was like 200 people in like this room. It's like there was some British citizens, and like a couple from Germany, and a lot of people from South America and stuff like that. And just gave him a hassle for like 30 hours, and then sent him back on a plane to Australia. So
There
Yeah,
was
it's
a
not
similar
good.
story here in Germany about a guy who was living in the US with a green card, and he came back also from some kind of family business in Germany, and they basically withdrew the green card on the airport. And
Yeah.
his wife is American, so he has his family lives there. He has his job there.
Right.
Basically, they seem to have decided on the airport that his green card was no longer valid anymore. They actually put him in jail,
Yep.
where people said, okay, what for? I mean, it's one thing to not accept your the green card anymore, but why jail? And he disappeared for a few days, so people were really concerned about that.
There
Yeah,
should be
it's
As a
some
ca-
route. I mean, with his marriage, normally marriage makes for a much easier route to citizenship. I think.
But
yeah,
if you
it's just
don't
it's
think that you need it because you have a
Whole
green card
process.
anyway, and
Yeah,
all of a sudden
well,
the world is topsy-turvy, then
yeah, shouldn't need it, but
yeah.
The
right.
whole process is fucked. They're deporting people that they can't or shouldn't, and
it's true.
the Kilmar Abrego Garcia is in an El Salvador prison for no fucking reason.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard that.
and they're gonna ignore the Supreme Court order, even though the Supreme Court ordered him back. They're just gonna say no, we're not gonna do that.
They won't.
Guaranteed.
They can't tell anyone where he's at because they don't know.
Yeah, once they got you
Fuck
on that
up.
plane, you're screwed.
Right.
Screwed the
That's
pooch.
that's their bragging rights for CCOT, as no one has ever left.
Did I mention I need to travel to the US next month?
Don't.
Sorry, man.
Yeah,
I
you might want
It's,
to delay
Or at least
that.
good luck. We hope to hear back from you.
Yeah, me too.
I
You
would
have your
suddenly,
vaccinations in order. It's a third world country, you know.
I would suddenly get COVID before I got on a plane.
1945 again.
yeah,
Seriously,
it's
I'd
not
be
good.
like,
That's I have to wonder what Flight Sim Expo is gonna, like, how many people are gonna pull out of that come from overseas. They're gonna be like, no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
I mean, because
no,
you got
yeah.
all these
Lot of
countries that
people.
are like, yeah, don't even bother going right now.
Don't go to the States, yeah. I mean, even close countries are like, stay away.
Right.
You
Yeah.
should ask the French. They're really pissed right now. Don't know if you heard, but this is a story that was confirmed by the French Foreign Ministry. Basically, a French scientist was invited to give a talk in a conference in Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and they also stopped him at the airport. So he arrived in Houston. They pulled him out of the line at the airport in Texas, scanned his phone, and sent him back because supposedly there were some non-US friendly remarks on his phone.
Yep.
Oh,
And,
Yeah,
uh,
they're going through
they're not-
everybody's phones
Ain't
now.
mine.
So
They would throw me in jail.
Yep. I would join you there. So.
Yep.
yeah, that's why me and my wife, we suspended our. I mean, I've been pretty paranoid about this stuff for a while. When I thought he was gonna get back in, and like I started removing anything that was remotely political from my social accounts, and then me and my wife both suspended our Facebook accounts early on, like in November. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, I might go back in and just fully delete it.
is it actually gonna help?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
I would expect that they will still have access to backups and stuff.
Technically, they're supposed to. Well, supposed to.
Yeah.
Meta's supposed to delete all your information after 30 days once you
course.
close your account, but yeah, like we were supposed to go to Philippines in October, but I told my wife, I was like, I really, really, really don't want to do it. More so, I'm just afraid for her because I mean, she's a naturalized citizen, but still.
Yeah. Coming back could be problematic.
Right, right, exactly. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is. It's scary times over here.
There's lots of us that don't like what's happening. We're not our government.
Yeah, they were walking in the
I
streets the other day too. Lots
mean,
of people.
oh yeah, I think the final estimated count nationwide was like over 5 million, I think.
It was
Oh,
11.
really?
I thought it was 11
Was it
million.
11 million? Yeah.
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was 50
Okay.
states protests all over the country. Obviously
I
not
didn't
in
see that in
Washington.
the news at all.
Yeah, no, most major news networks aren't carrying it. But yeah, it was. I mean, in Washington, they had over 1 million people on the mall.
But Washington is usually rather democratic, isn't it? I mean, it's
Mhm.
very not Republican.
Yeah. Boston had
Oh.
over 1 million people, I think.
No, it was nationwide up to 3.3 to 4.6 million. I don't know where I got 11
Okay.
million from.
That's. I
Still-
mean,
that's
it's
a lot
still
of
a
people.
lot though.
That's still a lot of people.
And as things get worse, it's only gonna get more.
Mhm.
But of course, at that point, I'm worried that he's gonna
It is
do something
Good.
drastic.
the largest protest in United States history. So,
Gonna do
Not the
something
biggest crowd,
drastic
because
anyway.
that was at his inauguration.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's just gonna do something drastic. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, that's a dead cat approach. I mean, you told us that.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people regretting what they did in November or around
But seriously, I mean,
where I'm at.
I have no sympathy for those people because the second time people knew what to expect. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah.
you can't say,
Absolutely.
the first time you can say, okay, I wanted to change up things a little, and but the second time you knew exactly what you were getting.
Right.
well,
The second
he
time you could
told
almost
what he
say
was going to do, and then now he's doing what he said he was going to do. So it was
The-
your
the-
fault not listening and voting the way you did.
the second time you could almost say that people may have been being malicious when they voted.
Right.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get these people. Let's get these people out of here. You know what I'm saying? And all those kinds of
if
thoughts.
these-
And
But if these people make up 40 to, I don't know how many percent of your population, then at some point,
It's about a quarter.
yeah.
Because we don't. I mean, we've got a pretty low participation rate as far as voting goes in the states.
Yeah.
But West
Um,
Virginia is getting ready to basically get a smackdown. I mean, massive.
Well, yeah, all you folks in the South are going through all that storms and shit like that.
Well,
And I mean,
not only that, but West Virginia. Well, with the tariffs, West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, coal country, man, coal country. With the
oh, but
tariffs,
we're bringing the coal plants back though.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
all the ones they shut down
Not-
and tore down.
Not with Chinese money, we're not.
Right.
I mean, the tariff is now so high on American coal going to China that it's cheaper for them to buy from Australia or Russia. You know, obviously, if it's cheaper for them to buy from Russia, that they're just going to buy it from Russia.
Right.
And like 7% of Kentucky's GDP is coal.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's actually money from foreign coal, from exported coal. West Virginia, it's about 2 to 3%.
Yeah.
Basically, here in West Virginia, the government is like, what are we gonna do to, because there's tax revenue.
Right.
I mean, when you basically shut off 50% of your coal export, then it's actually 50% of the coal produced in West Virginia was exported to China.
Mm-hmm.
And
But do you
I mean,
even still use coal in significant numbers in the US? I mean, from what I heard, gas is so cheap over there that it's more efficient and more economic to run a gas-fired power plant than a coal-fired power plant.
it's probably
In the
right.
US, it's different
Yeah.
in in Europe because here our gas prices are really high compared to yours. But
Yeah.
from what I heard,
Gas
most of
is
the
about
coal-fired power plants have shut down because it's just not economic to run them anymore.
Well, it's not.
Well,
They've
when
been decommissioning coal plants for years. You know, it's.
yeah, when
I
they
mean, there's
take
a
away
few obviously left, but
when they take away all that tax revenue, they were looking. I mean, already looking at how many schools are going to have to close up. How, just all the different things that are going to be affected. How they're going to
right.
keep how they're going to keep a decent amount of fire trucks and police on the.
Right.
That's a lot. It's a lot of money. They made it. They figured it out. It would be equivalent to almost $800 extra tax per person in West Virginia.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and
crazy.
with I don't know. I mean, it changes every 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
But with the really high tariffs that he had originally, I mean, they were saying up to $4,600 extra per year for the average American family. Like,
People can't
you
afford that.
know,
There's some people that are living paycheck to paycheck. They can't.
right?
You can't
I
throw an
mean,
extra $200 worth of bills on them and expect it to be all right.
no.
Do
And
you know
then,
how he's financing his tax cuts?
right. And then you're gonna have, once people stop buying shit,
Yeah.
we're gonna start, inflation's gonna start ticking up, and then that's even more on top of everything, you know?
I saw something the other day where um, somebody got a receipt at a grocery store. I forget what grocery store it was, but it had a tariff surcharge on
Oh shit.
it. Yeah.
I think that's actually a good idea because so that people realize where this price hike is coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
think that's actually a smart move.
they're gonna realize it here pretty quick, I can tell you that much. I mean it's these Chinese tariffs. Yeah, I mean, this morning he went and suspended tariffs on computer parts and chips and
Smartphones,
phones and
I
all
read
that
that.
stuff. But all the other little knickknacks and shit that China sells us, I mean, how many small businesses in America rely on that stuff? I mean, it's, you're gonna see so many businesses just fold up overnight, I mean, it's already happening.
I mean, consider where much of your agricultural products goes to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why the EU has started to put tariffs on bourbon. I mean,
Right.
it's no accident that it's bourbon and not something out of California.
Right.
Yeah, that was one of the
And the
first
Chinese
things.
do the same thing. I mean, they also know very specific. The Canadians as well. They know very specifically
Yeah.
where to put the herd. I mean,
Right. Yeah, the soybean farmers are screwed. They were
Well,
already really hurt from COVID, and now they're really screwed.
the thing about the farmers, though, and a lot of farmers that I know and that I've heard from out in the Midwest aren't worried because they already bought their stuff. They've already got the seeds. The seeds are already in the ground. They don't need to buy anything from anybody right now. They already have the fertilizer. They already have the seeds. They're just hoping, they're playing the game that they're betting that hopefully it's better when it comes to sell time. But right now, they're not that worried
because they don't. The cost of tariffs are not hitting them yet, because they already
Okay.
bought the seed, they already bought the fertilizer, they already bought the product, they already have the land. They're not paying or buying anything out of the country right now, for the most part. It's just when it comes to sell time that they're hoping that things settle out, and that's the bet that they're making. They're gambling right now that it'll be different when it comes to sell time, and hopefully it's a
Right.
good different. But if it's not, they're farmers. They eat the cost every other year, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
I don't know.
it's tough, but I don't think it's gonna hit the farmers as bad as it's gonna hit your everyday Joe. But where it is gonna hit the farmers is um, when consumers choose to buy out of state or out of country products instead
Mhm.
of from their local farmers, because then they will really lose.
Yeah, we're gonna try
But
and
if
buy
you
what
run a
we can.
if you have a soybean farm in the U.S., who is gonna use soybean in the U.S.? I mean, that's product that usually goes to China, as far as I know. So, what do you do if you have a product
Right.
that nobody wants at home?
Yeah, and that's tough. That's the gamble they're making, is that whatever Trump decides and does, you know, that it'll level out when it comes to harvest time. Now I don't know if it is. That's the gamble that they're making. I'm not gonna say whether it can or will or won't, but yeah, soy is, you know, is a major export. So is corn,
Yep.
and that's what the Midwest is corn and soybeans.
Yep.
I wonder
So
why soybeans. I mean, I see corn, but why soybeans? So, I mean, wouldn't it be cheaper to produce it in China itself? You would expect. I mean, I think it's not indigenous to the U.S. soybeans, is it?
Not sure. They may not have the. I mean, because our entire Midwest is just one big flat
Field.
area,
Yeah.
field,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
so it's, a lot more productive than it can be in China, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
I was also very surprised to hear that you don't have any, that you import so much of your fertilizer, because I thought, I mean, America has a chemical industry, so still
Well,
you
we
import so
we
much of your
do.
fertilizers.
I think I had heard somewhere that we have like a 30-year supply of potash, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. A 30-year stockpile of it, but I don't know if that's true or not.
soybeans are
But
used primarily as animal feed, as a source of soybean oil, and are used to produce biofuels like biodiesel.
Uh,
yeah, I don't know. Doesn't. I mean, no matter how this goes, I mean, we're not gonna be in the same position we were, regardless. Um, so
Yeah, it's far too late for that.
yeah, no, we don't have any sort of leverage anymore. I mean, everybody's. I said most of these folks are moving to, well, to like the Swiss franc and stuff like that because it's stable.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
or gold. Gold's shooting up right now.
Several countries are dropping the U.S. dollar as trade currency.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the BRICS countries are doing
Yep.
that.
Well, that's what you do. That's what happens when you shoot your allies in the back and the foot.
Yep. Sorry about your luck. Here, take these dollars back. We don't want them no more.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a peso? No, that's a U.S. dollar.
Sorry, sir. We don't take that here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
enjoy the lira.
got any happy news they can share with the group?
Well, my first
And I
week,
wish.
my first week on 2 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. has been really, really, really good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I had forgotten what the blooms look like on trees and plants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, being able to get in the car and drive down the road and see green trees and purple blooms, and man, it's been awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's great. I'll take it.
Are you still planning to move, Dragon?
Yes, it's in the plan. I'm trying to get my CDL before I get out of here, just because the state will pay for it,
Gotcha.
and it's something that I can do. It's just taking forever, and it's getting more and more expensive to exist here in Utah, much less
Right.
survive on, the food bank and barely scraping by with rent on unemployment. It's just, it's inaccessible at this point, and I'm living in the lowest income area in Utah.
Right.
So, I'm planning to move. It's just trying to
Yeah.
make it so that when I get there, I can be a useful, contributing member of society, and
Right.
have a skill I can put towards contributing to helping pay for things.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Wow.
Well, good luck, man.
Yeah,
Hope
no
it
doubt.
works out for you.
Yeah, good luck.
So I mean, we're all gonna have to be tightening up here pretty quick. Be
Yeah.
feeling it.
Yep.
Yep.
It's all right. I didn't want to retire.
Yeah, my retirement plans have definitely changed a bit. I was looking forward to January there for a while, and I'm kind of just glad I've got a spot now that's quite a bit less stress than it used to be, and
Yeah.
that I get to see the sunshine every day. So that's a
Take what you
livable.
can get.
Yeah, that's a livable situation. So,
Yeah.
and we'll just ride it out as long as I have to.
Yep.
Do we want to? Let's see. We have a quarter till. Looks like it's a pretty long stretch to the next waypoint. Do we want to find a spot on the beach here, or just keep going until we get to the top of the hour and find a spot?
We're right next
What
to
about this place,
Yakima.
OAA1?
Oh,
Yeah.
is this an airport? Oh, I thought it was just a
I don't know.
waypoint. Sorry.
It says.
Yeah, Yakataga is OAA1. If you want to take a break right
Okay.
here, let's do it.
Yeah, looks like an airport.
It's a little strip on the beach, basically.
Yeah, I'm actually right on top of it, so
Roger.
looks like a field, grass field or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's offset from the shore here just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm on short final to it.
You have to do a loop because I was already on top of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing back around here.
Oh shit, I always forget to fucking change my fuel tank.
Yeah. I got see Beaver down there. And, go around
Can't see
midfield here.
anything. There we go. Well, that doesn't make it any better. Trying to see you put the. Yeah, that's definitely not better.
Silky.
Yeah, I'm on the ground.
Copy.
I'm right behind Selkie Wolf. I don't know if you want to slip in between us or not.
Yeah, I'll just pull in really quick.
Lots of trees.
Come on, get into flap speed. God, this thing just does not want to slow down sometimes.
Look, you still in the ultralight?
Corvallis.
Okay.
Go a little bit long here.
The best thing about me being stuck around and not being really able to retire for an extra few years is at 20 years, Toyota basically will give us 80% of what it cost for health insurance premiums.
It's nice.
And as the next 5 years go by, so from 20 years to 25 years, once you make it to 25 years, they'll cover 100% of it. So
Wow.
it's a hunk of percentage every year. So if I spend an extra 2 or 3 years there, just means my insurance premiums will be less once I do retire, and once I go on Medicare, Medicaid, that actual amount of money is provided for the rest of my life for supplemental.
Nice.
So it's the only reason I'm still at Toyota, actually, is just for that. The rest of it, I don't care where I'd work, but
Yeah.
that's pretty good benefit.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey folks, is everyone down that wants to be?
Think so.
I'm almost done.
No worries.
Let me see.
Man, those poor bastards in that 310. I don't know what the hell happened, but Jesus.
Helicopter?
No, there was a Cessna 310 that was, I think, near Boca Raton or something like that.
Down Louisiana. No,
That
Florida.
something happened. Like a lot of people thought that the gust lock was still on because he just was like flying around in a slip like the whole time and couldn't get control of the plane. Like they went around probably like I saw the track for it, and I mean they probably went around trying to land like 5-6 times, and eventually they just went in, and yeah, nobody made it. Sucks. Yeah, the helicopter was wild too. I don't know what happened there. I got a lot of time working on those, and I don't know. Like I have my suspicions, but kind of crazy.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. 10
Copy.
minutes, starting now.
Copy.
Copy.
I got the Say Intentions Entourage, not the one where you have to subscribe and all that kind of stuff and keep spending money, but the one that you just spend one time and you're done.
Yeah.
It doesn't have ATC and all that, but it's got several other things, and one of the things it's got is a AI tour guide. And one of the voices is Two-Tone Murphy.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's hilarious. And they made him do like the AI, I guess, is set up to do like comedic things. Say like comedic things. There's a couple of them that are set up that way as a tour guide, and then a couple of them that are like really supposed to be professional.
Yeah.
But Two-Tone Murphy is funny. It's good.
That's great.
I just clicked on it. I'm like, where are we at? He starts spitting out a bunch of stuff. It's hilarious. I got so much homework to do after this. Oh my goodness. I went by Petco a couple days ago and got little man a frisbee, a little small frisbee, and can't wait for it to warm up a little bit and catch a nice sunny morning. Gonna go out and play catch with him, see if he'll actually pull the frisbee out of the air. Did I tell you about him jumping on the fence? So, a couple of weeks ago, I've heard him like, he'll be running and barking and everything, and I've heard him run into the wooden fence that separates my backyard from the apartment building behind me. I've heard him hit the wooden fence several times. I've never seen him do it, but I've heard him do it. And I always thought he was just kind of like running down the fence line and just kind of jump up on the fence with his paws and then, jump back down. And I thought, oh, it'd be alright. So I'm standing there at the kitchen sink washing a few dishes, and I see he's running around and barking, and all of a sudden he turns like perpendicular to this 6-foot wooden fence. Runs dead at it. And I'm like, what is he doing? And when he jumped, I was like, oh my God, is he going over? Is he gonna make it? I mean, his front paws were about a foot from the top edge of the fence. And it was like, ooh. I was like, oh my God, that's what he's been doing? And I've got, the crazy thing is, I've got a 3-foot chain link fence on either end of the yard. So at any time he wants to go, he can just go. But yeah, he freaked me out a little bit. I didn't realize he could get up that high. So we're gonna test his frisbee catching ability out. If he gets good at it, I might have to video it and throw it up in Discord somewhere. The obedience trainer that I sent him to, that we went to, they also do frisbee stuff and stuff, all kinds of stuff like that. They do the walking up the plank and walking across and back down the other side. They do all that. So if he doesn't want to do the jump for the frisbee, then I'm gonna take him and see if I can get him trained for it.
Hey, time's up. Get the fuck
Yep.
out of here. Let's go. Ooh, watch it there, Beaver.
Easy, Silky.
Stay on the runway if you can.
Right.
Let's see a wolf.
Just a little touch and go there.
Right
Right.
rudder.
That was almost a slideshow. That's the reason I was all over the place. I don't know why it was a slideshow, but
Nice.
up. Please, up. Up.
Alright.
Oh, this is not looking good.
Don't run into the mountain.
Some trees. Hello, trees. Goodbye,
Hello,
trees.
Get out of the way, trees.
We're good now. Going down the coast.
Alright. Good stuff.
It's something about being on the ground or like really, really close to the ground, but
Mm-hmm.
it gets choppy. I mean, like really choppy. I wonder if that's due to maybe I need to cut back on the fidelity of my ground clutter. That's probably what it is.
Could be. I'll get mine turned down a little bit.
Quick peek here. What'd you say? Displacement mapping. Maybe I should turn that off. Okay, I'll go with that.
And snow is back on the left.
Yeah.
mountains look sick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
They
The
look good
whole-
even in 2020. I mean, this sounds so arrogant, even in 2020. I mean, if you imagine what they looked like before, in the earlier iterations of the sim, we've been so spoiled.
Yeah, that's why it's one of my favorite places to fly up here. It's just a lot of diversity in the terrain. Very cool.
Yeah.
It's really challenging. And well, it can be challenging in bush plains and in real weather, especially in 2024 because of the air currents and stuff are a lot more interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Especially
definitely.
around like mountains and stuff, because you actually have like wind currents and stuff that'll move up the sides of the mountains and things like that. Like you can pick up a lot of ridge lift or downdrafts and stuff if you're not careful, and then
Yeah.
flying airliners into these small Alaskan airports, which are actually used, at least by Alaska Airlines, can be really challenging, especially in real weather. It's can be really crazy. And gives you a lot of respect for the guys that do it on a daily basis. Yeah, this mountain coming up here on the, well, let me see here on the left. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, I think towards the end in 2020 they did a decent job on the mountain. But if you fly really close, then 2024 is where I think it makes a difference.
Yeah, because you got all that displacement mapping and things like that that adds all the little extra details that really makes it come alive almost. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Extra details on the rock surfaces and things like that. I was looking for you and I turned around and looked out the back window. I was like, I can hear it.
Really?
Well, I can't really hear the Draco, but it's got Silky as a, well, it obviously says Corvallis, but I don't have that. It says it's one of the Diamond aircraft, and it's got a really loud prop. I can hear Silky a ways off.
Yeah, now I can hear him too.
It's funny. Back out over the water. It's a cool cliff face there down on the water. Or if it's actually like that, or if it's... Huh, interesting. I don't know, I still don't think they've got all the newest DEM data into the sim. I think it's still... I don't know. I gotta go down to New Zealand and see if they updated any of that or not from launch. Because it was using really old satellite data when the sim first launched.
Yeah, San Francisco also had pretty old data where they did not have a new, well, somewhat new Apple campus.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely launched it with whatever was in the sim, probably midlife on 2020. They hadn't moved all the new data over yet. But I don't know how much, if anything, has been updated as of yet or not.
Yeah, at some point I wanted to try the latest beta again, but not before the flight, else I would have flight alone.
Right. I guess it's getting more stable, but I'm still not willing to hop in there and mess with it too much. Wish they could get this water masking sorted out. They're like, oh, that's really green right there. That must be land. It's not. Jesus.
Yeah, Silky, your engine is really loud.
crazy how much it changed out here. All the mountains just kind of fell away.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But you have this large empty space on the left-hand side now.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of it is like glacial
Yeah,
runoff
looks like
and
it.
whatnot. Question is, yeah, I got to gain some altitude here. Not sure what the let's see. Guessing probably 4,500 feet to clear.
Who was? We're skipping over the water again. Because that's what it looks like from up here.
Nice.
What'd you do?
What happened? I can only see cloud currently.
Yeah. What happened? Oh, very nice.
In a Corvallis, no less.
She water skied with her Corvallis, something I would not advise doing, but
Front wheel up, that's all.
just your front wheel?
Yeah, just the front.
It looks like you got two wheels on there. Not your two back wheels, but front and your side. At least from the water trails, it looks like it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, the one on the right and the front one, huh? The one on the left wasn't hitting no water yet, was it?
Yeah.
Well, that was unplanned, but it worked. I almost hit the altitude on the autopilot. Click. If you get really close and having trouble getting down those last few feet, you can do it. Hit the altitude on the autopilot, and then, or the level, either one, and then either trim down. Sometimes it'll autopilot will trim you back up, or just keep cutting the throttle, and eventually it'll settle you down on the water. Looks like we got somebody else tagging along back there.
Do we?
Or maybe they're way back.
Oh, Heli Sim Pilot? No, they're
Mhm.
tagging.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if they had a heli that can keep up with us.
It's another Draco.
Okay.
Okay.
So if he's in a 160, you might be able to keep up. Yeah, this looks like a pretty steep climb up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like I'm above the terrain already at 3,800, so based on the terrain map here.
I'm gonna play a little bit.
Of course you are.
I think I'll go ahead and cut this at 4,000.
Maybe see if I can find a path down through the middle of this.
4,000 should be fine. It's just above the cloud layer too, at least on a few clouds or whatever.
looks like you can go in right there, but it looks like it doesn't go all the way through.
Whatever that is in front of me, you might think about climbing a little because you look awfully low.
That is probably me.
Probably Silky.
If you just need to turn to the right, then it is you, yeah.
Yep, that would be me. I see a little path here on the beach that goes up into the hills, and I thought I would just kind of.
You are in an aircraft, you can just climb. You don't have to look for holes in the mountains.
Oh,
Or do you need
Just
to
climb
create your
over
own?
it.
Well, you can also just cut it because we're not going to be over the mountains that long anyway.
is it? Let me see. Nope, it's just a little drainage spot. Yeah, just a little drainage spot there. Down in it. Ooh. Nice. Let's go back to right here. Here we go.
Yeah, looking at the Garmin, eventually we need to climb.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to clear this.
Yep, I'm clearing it 4,500.
Should be just above the terrain. If I went left of the light path, it would be different, but I think I'm good here. Into a little bit of cloud, but yeah, I should be fine here, I think. Well,
I'm gonna make
maybe.
it.
maybe.
and-
If I clear this right here, I'll be good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna clear it.
Uh-oh.
4,000.
Okay, that's a cul-de-sac.
Uh-oh.
It's a cul-de-sac.
You made it!
No,
Yep.
no, I didn't. I was rolling back down the
Too bad.
hill.
Sometimes, yeah, that bend in your smoke trail doesn't look healthy.
Rip.
Sometimes I wish I would see explosions.
I missed it by about 100 feet. At,
Oh no.
Yeah, at about 2,200 feet. There's actually a lot that's.
Second try.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, no problem on this one. Yeah, she's just gonna float right over it. There we go. Waited a little too late.
Nope, I will need a little bit of extra height on this though.
228 knots.
Alright, now we can go down. Sim pilot is just like stuck to you like glue, dude.
Who?
Heli sim pilot, he's right behind you. He's like dead on you though. Like he's just stuck on you.
And I just did like a major altitude change. Like I just
Yeah,
plugged
he is
it, died.
sticking with you.
Damn. Pretty impressive. See if he levels out at 1800 like me. I mean, he probably will. Yep, right there. So he knows what my next move's gonna be.
It's your doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He has altitude.
Gonna try and shake him. I'll shake him at the airport.
I'm coming, y'all.
Okay. I see you.
My wings are covered in bug splatter.
Nice.
Fever.
And so is my windscreen. Yay. Good if you decided to pick up the magenta line at some point.
What for?
Autopilot, you will not take me somewhere I do not want to go. I will not allow it.
Got a real good formation going here, boys.
Yep.
I just asked my two-tone Murphy AI guy to open me a beer.
Yeah. That's funny.
Followed me right down to the piano keys.
Yep.
Still have to lose altitude. I came in too high.
Come on, man, I'm telling you to slip. There we go. Get to slip. Get to slip.
Planes are kind of incredible, aren't they? Just like it's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Silky with the fast taxi.
Oh, beans.
Yippers. Good run today. It was
Oh, yeah.
nice.
Very, very.
Definitely a nice run, yeah.
Check it off from the log.
Yep. All right, gang. Well, we'll catch you next week. Hope everybody has a
Sounds
good
good.
week coming up.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'll take care.
You know.
Take care. Happy Easter.
Mhm.
You too.